What's up, guys? I'm a lot behind today. It is 4:34. I just got done editing my weekly video. So every Friday, I have a video on my main channel that's supposed to go up, and the whole idea with this video is that it shows like everything about progression, and it helps me. I think the goal with it, I mean, I the goal with it is that it helps me sell one of my courses. Now, in a long roundabout way, like I don't even mention it or anything like that, but I just want to get people hyped on learning new tricks and show them how I'm able to teach myself new things. And so that's like the opportunity vehicle for them. So anyway, it's really important that I get that done. And I filmed a ton of content this week, but I didn't have any time to edit it. What I should have been doing instead of doing the Discord yesterday was editing this video, because I think it's more important than the Discord. But I just really wanted to get the Discord done. I didn't want to have it half done. I just needed to get it done so I could move on. And so I spent the last, 5 hours or so just chugging away on this video. Finally got it, and I'm actually really happy with it. Like, each week, I think it gets better, so to speak. The last 2-3 weeks have gotten better anyway. We'll leave it at that. So yeah, so 4:35, I just worked on that video most of the day today. I went to work. I woke up this morning a little bit late because I went to bed at about 5 last night, and I woke up around 9 something, or almost 10. And I took Joey out, and we walked over to the gas station and to get an energy drink. That's how I start the day. And I had to go to work at 11:30, which is kind of early for me for work, especially. So walked with Joey all the way over there. Went inside. Guy's like, "Hey, our machine's down. We can't take cards." I'm like, "Cool. I've got cash. It's all good." And then I got up to the register to pay, and then my cash is in my wallet at the house. I just took my phone. I was going to use Apple Pay, and I was so annoyed because I walked all the way over there. That gas station is the most unreliable place ever. And it's interesting to think about because it's a Circle K, and most Circle Ks are reliable. And this one's like in a good location. It's a busier one for sure. But it's like, I don't know. I guess I think about this stuff a lot. When I experience minor inconveniences with a business or with anything, I always think deeper, and I'm like, what do you think that effect has? Like, maybe I'm just a petty person, but honestly, because of that, I'm like, I can't trust that they're going to be open accepting cards. And now, hold on. That's not the first time. This has happened a number of times that, our machines are down, we can't take cards. Like, that was probably the third time that that's happened to me. Now, it's been months, and I go there quite a bit because it's really close to the apartment. But that was like I said, third time. Okay, so it's not like first time I'm like, I'm never going back. Third time, I'm like, okay, I give up because it's not worth it for me to go there expecting to do something and then have to change all those plans. Like, I guess if I had my car, it would be a little different. I just drive to the other one that's really close. It's way more ghetto, but it's more reliable. So anyway, if I had that option, I would just take that option. But I didn't have that option. So I walked back home, didn't get my energy drink. I was like late to work by a few minutes. Like, it was just a tough morning, all because of Circle K. I'm pretty sure, I'm blaming Circle K for that whole fiasco. So one thing that I've been thinking a lot about is like the frequency of posting. What my motto has always been is like, post as much as possible, put it all out there. And then eventually, as the algorithm and as like, as your content starts to get indexed, then it's going to start to be distributed and people are going to start to come across it. And the analogy I always put for this, like if someone's like, "Oh, I want to start YouTube, or I want to start a brand, like what should I do?" I'm like, put stuff out there. That's the biggest thing. For me, that's been the most helpful thing. It's like, think about you're standing in like a field, right? And you've got a bow and arrow and you're trying to hit targets, okay? If there's just one target out there in the whole field, you've got to go for just that one target, okay? And then if you are not very good, you can only shoot so many arrows at a time, you're going to have a hard time hitting that target. But now think about, there's thousands of targets out there. You can literally just point and shoot and you're going to hit something. And so when people are like, well, what should I do? It's like, bro, just put stuff out there, because every single day there are people searching on Google, searching on YouTube, searching on wherever for something to like watch or something to help them. And if you have one piece of content out there, then you're just like, you're that lone target out there in the field, and all these arrows are whizzing past you because they're searching for it, but they don't know how to get to it, right? Or they have other targets in the way that they're hitting. And so when you put out tons and tons and tons of content, you have a higher chance that somebody's going to stumble across it. And if you have good content, people are going to stumble across it. They're going to engage with it, and they're going to engage with your brand. They're going to take that a step farther. They're like, wow, not only did this person give me the content I'm looking for, they also are a good brand and like good content. I trust them. I want to watch more of that content. And so what I'm getting at is like, that's always been my motto with things, is to just put out as much content as possible. And recently though, with this whole thing, I would put out like that daily TikTok that shows what I did and what I spent my money on throughout the day. But then when I started doing this a few days ago, I've been clipping different sections from it, 3 to 5 sections where I think it's something, like I say, something of sustenance and something valuable, and put it out there. Now, a difference here, so that's definitely hurt the views for the time being. And like, that makes sense, because that kind of content's going to be a little bit different than the people who consume the first type of content that I was putting out there. But I think people are still going to like find that valuable. And so I think it fits into the brand. But, as the algorithm has to figure out, okay, well, this engagement wasn't the same with this pool of people, let's try it with a different pool of people and see what happens. I'm okay with that hit. I'm okay with that slowing down, because on another TikTok that I'm growing, like, I just post 3 to 5 times a day. It's all the exact same type of content, but some of them take off, some of them don't take off. But I just keep posting and just let it do its thing. I don't stress about that too much. And I think that's the approach I need to do. But I have been a little bit worried about like, hey, am I posting too much? Am I burning out the follower? Like, it doesn't even work like that anymore. It's all about the algorithm and who the algorithm decides to show the content to. So I don't know why I would stress about the followers or why I would stress about anything like that. I just want to put out that content. But then again, like I'm saying, it's not necessarily searchable content that I'm putting out there, or it's a lot more competitive. Whereas early on, the content I would make would be very searchable. It's like very specific. It's reviews, it's top 10 products. It's very specific information. So I know that by putting it out there, people will eventually come across it and eventually consume it. And that's the best and safest way, I think, to grow a brand. But it's like not always the way that everyone wants to do it. So as I'm building this brand up, I'm definitely experimenting with that. And I'm like, this is a little bit different than initially like what I had thought. I'm like, can you just put out a bunch of content that's not necessarily that doesn't have any SEO relevance and still do something with it? I don't know. That's what I'm figuring out. I'm seeing if I get the ban or get the smack for posting too much. But what I've been doing on all my accounts that aren't connected to this, like all of my accounts that I've been growing up over the last few years, is I just post whenever I feel like it. And I see very, very minimal repercussions from that. I don't think that it's that big of a deal, especially now that we're at the algorithm phase of things. You guys remember like early on with Instagram, when if you posted, like your friend was going to see that. If I had 50 followers and I posted a photo, they would see that photo, because that's how it went. There wasn't an abundance of content out there. I remember how upset everyone was when it went away from like most recent to most engaged. Do you guys remember that? Like at first it was most recent. So if I went to Instagram, I refreshed it, this is the most recent post, and then maybe this one's there, I saw it earlier, this one's there, I saw it earlier, this one's there, I saw it earlier, and they were in that order. But then they switched around. They're like, this one gets the most engagement, so let's show this one first. And I was like, oh man, I just want to see my friends post. Like, I don't want any of this. I was so resistant. I remember my friend Barrick was against it too. Like, it was just such a weird thing. And now it's to the point where like it doesn't matter. Whatever you see is based on like a curated suggestion, has absolutely nothing to do with whether it's your friend or not. You know, it's just like, it's just there and you consume it. And so by putting out content that way, you really have to favor the algorithm, but like, and also hope that once it gets shown to somebody, it's the right person and the content you've produced is good enough to like make them feel like it was worth their time and make them feel like they can engage with you farther. Anyway, those are just some things that I'm trying to ponder and trying to think about. Like, I don't know what the best way to go is, and I'm just figuring it out as I go. For now, my plan is to just keep posting the content that I plan to post and wait a while. I don't want to make rapid changes too quickly before it's like, I need to stick with something long enough to collect enough data to make an informed decision. And so right now, initially posting those clips each day was a lot, and it did negatively impact the brand. But to be fair, before I was doing that, I'd have some daily videos get 5,000 views, some daily videos get 30 views. And I know the content is different. And so I just don't want to stress too much about it. I just want to stay disciplined and keep posting that stuff. Like, it is getting really hard. It's almost 5 a.m. and it's getting really hard to stay disciplined and to keep posting and to keep it going. Like, I have to make the TikTok before I go to bed, and then I've got to wake up. I've got to do a live stream tomorrow in like 7 hours. I look tired because I didn't sleep much last night. I'm not going to sleep much today, but I've been very behind this week. And so getting that video done on time feels good. I don't have to push it back. I don't have to come up with an excuse. I have it up. I'll get the live stream. Like, I'll be able to get the stuff done. I just need to like start catching up this week. And I've got a backlog of content to film for the next week's video because I only did half of what I had and still got a 10-minute video. So I have enough content out. I don't necessarily need to film this week. I'd like to, but I'd like to get that video edited and have it scheduled out a week ahead of time. So that's going to be my main focus now, is getting that and just getting everything caught up. When I'm behind, I'm stressed and I don't know what to do. And it's a big mess. So working on that's going to be really beneficial. This one's going to be super short. I didn't do a whole lot for the brand anyway, so I don't have a whole bunch to talk about, but we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully I get caught up. Hopefully I get some good stuff done.